So for the duration of this video, you're not allowed to look at this spot. This spot does not exist. You're banned from looking at it. So basically, what I mean by your needs versus other people's wants is basically you have your own goals, your own ideas. And if you've been following my videos for a while, you've already established a to-do list. You might hopefully have more of an idea of what you're trying to achieve with your money, with your personal finances, and what you're working towards generally on your day-to-day life. Now, the more successful you become and the more independent you become, the more you take care of yourself and so on. One, from my experience, this is from my own life, is that other people will try and start chiming in with their wants. It's like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Help me to achieve my goals, to achieve my dreams. But basically, they are other people's wants. And the best way to inspire other people is to take care of yourself and let them work towards it themselves. It's not about like you become super successful and therefore pay for other people to just sit on their butt and do absolutely nothing. It's a case of like make sure that you focus all the time, like I said, the mind's eye, at the mind spot, on your goals and your ambitions and dreams. So for example, for my goal for a long, long time was to become debt free. Let me tell you why I became in debt to begin with. I'll keep this brief, but I was in a, like, people who know me know the story already. I was in a, let's say, not so good relationship, like a decade ago, and back then, my partner wanted me to help her with everything, help her pay her rent, help her pay repairs for her car, help her pay for her bills, help her pay whatever. And it was almost down to this idea that, because I was making more money and I was more successful, therefore I should pay for both of us. But we were not married. So, and basically, I worked so hard because I am generous by nature to make these things happen. And I just wasn't thinking clearly. Let's say as well, I was very inexperienced in uh, these sort of relationships that I ended up basically putting myself in debt to satisfy her wants. So it wasn't like looking deeper, she didn't need any of the money I gave her. She wanted it. And me being the gullible guy, the sucker, the mark, the whatever you want to call it, I was hustled. Simple as that. And from then on, and seeing the amount of damage when I sort of reflected on where I was as a person and looking at my own finances, I really, really put a huge emphasis on what do I want. And I feel as well, there's no problem being selfish in this sort of situation because basically the more you help yourself, the more you succeed. Like the more calm you become, the more successful you become. Being debt free is one sign of success, and so on. Then the more you can inspire other people. So the goal is to inspire, but number one is to take care of yourself. That's it. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, you can't really help other people unless you can help yourself. So, and you might ask yourself the question, ask yourself the question, do you do for yourself what you're prepared to do for other people? That's a question I asked myself some years ago. And I'm glad I asked myself that question because at the time when I asked myself that question, the answer clearly was no. I was prepared to do everything for my partner, but I wasn't prepared to show myself the same amount of love that I was able to, that I wanted to show her. So, yeah. So the reason I wanted to make this video is just, again, just like with so many of my other videos, it's just a concept, it's an idea. And it's something that you might not have thought about. It's a question of the day, whatever you want to call it. Are you prepared to do for yourself what you're prepared to do for other people? That's it. So think about it and let me know in the comments down below what you think about this topic and so on. Now, being in a sort of toxic relationship and blah, 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 I feel that's part of life. But at the same time, no one deserves that. And it's important to take action if you can safely. If you can't safely, please seek help from the authorities, from whoever, like if you're in danger, basically, if you go against your partner, like because I've seen it time and time again. And unfortunately, us as human beings, we're stuck in this loop. It's sort of like I'm sure this has been happening for millions of years, like it's happening now, and it's going to always happen in the future. That's just how some humans are wired, and that's how, unfortunately, some circumstances can lead to. But the worst for me was basically I just spent lots of money that I shouldn't have spent on a girl who basically I shouldn't have. So, and it's also as well, it's the issue of taking responsibility for it as well. So it's not like, for example, I'm not gonna say it's 100% her fault. It was my own fault as well for basically, allowing that to happen and not being experienced enough or whatever to see that. But at the same time, simply, I never been through that. Now I've learned. Hopefully, it will never happen again. Simple as that. So that's the question for the day. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you had a similar experience? What effect did it have on you as a person? What effect did it have on your personal finance? So let me know.